Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So guess what day it is? February 28th, and you know what that means. It's payday. It's payday. Hey, payday. I get excited around payday. You know, I only get paid once a month, and it's really an exciting deal because for a few minutes you've got that money in your account. Then once you start paying those bills, it's all gone. And it used to make me really sad because I would look at all the money that I had going out. And it really took an arresting of my spirit for the Lord to really show me. And a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, told me, Shakema, at least you have the money to pay your bills. And that totally changed my whole thought process around getting paid. Because a lot of times you want to get paid and you want to hold on and say, okay, I know I'm not getting paid for another month. I've got to have this money. And what God showed me was that I had to walk in faith where my finances were concerned. And not only did I have to walk in faith, because I did, but I also had to become disciplined in my finances. That meant I had to pay the bills when they were due or sooner if I had the money and I knew I might spend it later. And I just had to be diligent about it. And I will say over the last 5, I'm probably going into year 6 now, with faithfully doing my budget every month, that, you know, it just is that it's ingrained in me now. The week before payday, to check the employee portal and figure out how much I got paid for that month. And then plug it into my spreadsheet, look at my bills, plug in my bills. That way, about a week in advance, I know what I'm going to have to be working with. So let me give you a quick update, and then I'm just going to jump into the budget for the month. I've had some good things and some not so good things, but God's always faithful in all the things. So last month I told you that I ran into an issue with child support. And that issue has not been resolved. It is still owed, still has not been paid. But I got to a point where I just said, Lord, you're going to have to work it out. You know, I talked to my ex-husband, and he said he was going to pay, and he didn't pay. And, you know, it's nothing I can do. I can't make him. I can't force him. I can just leave that in God's hands and go on. So I got one payment. That was at the very beginning of February. Outside of that, nothing. So, you know, who knows? We're in a new month. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not going to worry. Because I prayed about it and I asked the Lord to work it out. And God so showed up. He really, really did show up. So I'm going to take you through my budget, and then I'm going to bring you back around to tell you just how God took care of me and my children for the month of February, and how he's going to take care of us for the month of March, because God's good. So, okay, every month I do the same budget spreadsheet. I don't deviate from this plan, although I did try out a new budget spreadsheet that I got from Cass at the Organized Clutterbug. Now, I'm just telling you this information. I'm not plugging anything. I'm not sponsored by Cass or anything, but she was running a special. If you pre-ordered her book, Real Life Organizing, then she gave you a coupon code. Only those people who pre-ordered the book got a coupon code for lifetime free printables. And so I love to organize. It's something that I do all the time. So I actually ended up ordering her book. I think it was on a special too, because I think it was normally like $17 or something like that. Ended up being like $12.99. It's not released yet, but I pre-ordered it. So as soon as it releases, then I'll get that. But I was able to get the free printables, and she had a financial planner printable. I wanted to show you guys because I thought it was really neat, and I actually went through all of the pages that she had. So once you if you don't have the free downloads of the printables, I think it was only $5. You could get it off her website for $5. You don't have to get it at all, but I liked it. And so she has this financial planner. It comes as an automatic download as soon as you take care of your cart, which again, it's $5. And it talks about your budget, how to organize your budget items, and how to get debt free. Then the next page is just your family budget. This is kind of the at a glance. And you just fill all of those items in. These are PDFs, so they're not editable. These are PDF files. So I just printed them off. The next thing she had in there was a get on track, a track your spending. This is kind of like your monthly, like your checkbook ledger. If you don't keep a checkbook ledger, this is how she said, track your expenses to see exactly where your money is going, which I thought and I think is a good idea. Then she has your actual year at a glance, and this is broken down by months, and then it tells you your income, your expenses, how much you give, how much you save, and then any loans. So this is just a quick view of what you have. You may want to use that. I may go back and use this. Then she has a savings tracker. She says that if you save at least $5 a day, you'll end up with $2,000 at the end of the year. Then she had monthly bill and expense reminders. I keep all of this stuff pretty much in my head, but I love to use my Google Calendar. I love to use Google. It just works for me. The next thing she had was, the next sheet she had was a loan and debt tracker. And again, these are just write-ins and fill-ins. They were not editable on her website. They're just PDFs. And then she had there's a spreadsheet that comes along with this that I really did like. Now, some of the categories were different than what I would normally use, but this was in Excel. So you could change those categories. And she has the expenses broken down to weekly, monthly, and yearly. And the only thing you have to fill out is your monthly column. There's 3 columns on this spreadsheet. And she has expenses, savings and investments, charities and gifts, medical, entertainment, income, savings and investments, and then charity and gifts. She has that again. And all you do is fill out the monthly column, and it automatically calculates for you your weeklies and your yearly, so how much you're spending in a year. And I actually did fill out one of these, so I'll show you this sheet. But this is what when I printed it out just plain from the download, this is what it looks like. And you only fill out this middle column right here, and then it automatically calculates your weeklies and your monthly amounts. If you just want to know if you eat out $100 a month, how much it's costing you a year, and then how much is it costing you for the week. So I like that one, but I'm such a creature of habit, and I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I really like my budget sheet. It's just worked for me. And I have over the years tried many different things, thinking, okay, this is going to be better. But I will be honest and say my sheet just works for me. Because it goes to the zero base. It goes to the zero, like Dave says, to zero balance everything out. And I love that about this spreadsheet. And then I can toggle my numbers to get my zero budget, and I know exactly what I'm supposed to have where. So anyway, I'm going to go down my budget sheet and let you see what I have. So again, my sheet looks just like this, and it's broken down into charitable gifts, savings, housing, utility, food, transportation, clothing, health, and then on the next page, I have personal, recreation, debt, and then total expenses, and then total income is what's at the bottom. So my total income for the month was $2,727.62. That was my bring home pay. Now, with that, out of that money, my tithe and offering was $466. And how I came up with that was my base pay at $4,352, I think is what it is, or $532. I think I got it wrong. And then I worked 2 Saturdays for Saturday school, just trying to bring a little extra income, and I made $125. So that was $13 off of that. And again, remember, somebody asked me, do you tithe off the net or the gross? I tithe off the gross. That's how I've always done it. That's how I'm always going to do it. And if you do it differently, that's between you and the Lord. I tithe off the net, and God makes up what I need to have for my home. So my mortgage was $874.02. I have not written my homeowner's insurance check yet, but I'm going to pay half of it, which is $90. That'll pay me for 6 months. And the reason I haven't written that check yet is because I just got paid today, and I was sitting here writing checks. I wrote out 2 checks, and I'll write out that one in just a minute, and then I'll drop it in my neighbor's box because she's our homeowner's treasurer. For the lawn care and the puppy. So right now, my lawn guy is not cutting lawns until April 1st, but he will come over and let the puppy out for me. So I've been doing Weight Watchers, and I've actually been working out 5 days a week. I've been working out 3 days a week, but 5 workouts because I work out twice, 2 days a week. So he comes over on the evenings. I have to be at Taekwondo late, and he lets the puppy out for me. So that's 2 or 3 days a week times however many weeks a month, and so I'm just rolling that in. Okay, I have insurance on my iPhone, which is $7.99. That didn't change. My utilities. Last month, my utilities, I think, my utilities for February was $143. And we had crazy weather. It was really cold, and it was warm, and it was really cold. My utilities for March was $102. So I actually saved about $41. My phone bill was $228. And remember, I paid my son's phone bill because I pay 2 bills for him, and then he pays my car insurance when it's due for our 6 months re-up because he has a large amount to pay, and we can't pay from 2 separate credit cards or debit cards. I do not have a credit card from 2 separate debit cards. My son does not have a credit card either. He just has his debit card. But they won't let us pay, like I'll pay my portion and he pays his portion from 2 separate accounts. So he pays mine, which is $213 or something like that because I just have an older car. And I pay 2 phone bills for him. So this month, because I told him he was responsible for picking up his phone bill this month, I have to pay $115 for my cell phone instead of the $228 for both phones. So I'm actually saving about $113 because I didn't pay his cell phone. My cable bill last month was $77.76. This month it was $69.18. And that's for my cable. No, I don't have cable. That's my internet and my home phone. I don't have cable, but that's internet and home phone. And then my water bill was $77.35 coming into February, and going into March, it was $65.96. So it was a little bit lower than it had been previously. Now, I normally originally had set aside $200 for my groceries, but I had to bump that down a little bit this month. So my grocery bill or budget is $180.87, which is going to give me about $36.17 a week because there are 5 weeks in March. So I went ahead and accounted for 5 weeks. Tomorrow's March 1st, which is on a Wednesday, and I will do my weekly grocery shop on March 1st. So there are 5 Wednesdays. So I just broke it down like that. And the reason I did that is because I have to have my oil changed. And so I allotted $30 for my oil change. And I'm going to make an appointment to see if I can drop the car off on my way to work. And then I'll pick it up on my way from work because it's fairly close to my job. And I'll just get one of my coworkers to drop me off there to pick up my car. I don't have clothing budget in here for the kids and I this month. That's just not something that worked into the budget. I have $10 for medications. I'm on 2 meds. Sister's on 3 meds. She's actually on 4 meds. She has a lot of allergy problems. Out of all of the children, she has more of the allergies. So she's on a nose spray and then 2 allergy pills. And then she's having some blood sugar issues. So they just put her on another med for that. We're just doing a 6-month trial period to see how that works. We are seeing a pediatric endocrinologist So that was last month we had those appointments. It took us a long time to get those, but anyway. So I set aside $10, and the reason I only set aside $10 for 4 prescriptions is because something changed in my insurance for medicines. When I went to have, normally my copay was like $12 per non-generic, and then it would be like $55 for the, it was $12 for the generic, and it would be like $55 for the non-generic. But when I went and got my one blood pressure medicine, I paid $1.88. I was like, you sure that's right? The lady said it was right. So, and both medications were under $5. So if I'm getting those, and I got a 90-day supply on one, and it was still below $5. I'm not arguing with the process. So, anywho, I'm just leaving it like that and happy about it. So, okay. For personal items, my gym membership that comes through my health insurance is $25. It's called Healthways. It's through Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so remember, if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, they will let you join Healthways. And with my Healthways membership, I can go to 5 gyms in my city. 5 different gyms. No annual enrollment fees, no membership fees, no maintenance fees. It's $25 a month, and I can go to all 5 of those gyms. I had a miscellaneous this month. I had $100 for some shelving units. I actually was going to there's a church that was moving, and they had some huge shelving units. And I'll try to insert a picture at the end of this so you can see what it looks like. But one of the shelves was 7 cubbies by 5, so 7 cubbies high by 5 wide, and then the other one was 7 cubbies high by 4 wide. And what I did was put them in my garage. I had them delivered and put them in my garage against the wall so I could make room for my garage pantry, because I did not have a lot of space in there. But what I gained with the shelving was I also was able to unpack all of the rest of our homeschool stuff, because we still had homeschool boxes. So I have one side, I think two whole 7 by 7 shelvings are homeschool, and then everything else is coupons, and then we still have some room to grow. We have not filled everything in, but I can actually take some stuff from out of the inside pantry and now take it out to the outside pantry because I have space for it now. So that cost me $100. But then the puppy, and we love the puppy. We love the puppy. Bit my internet wireless router. And so I had managed to duct tape it, and it was working good. But I think she bit it again, and it would not hold the charge. It's just where it went into the power supply, and it was a really old one, so I was not able to find a replacement power supply, and I need my internet. So I ended up having to go buy a new wireless router, and I got the cheaper one at Walmart. It's not my fave because it is a little bit slower than what I'm used to, but it is a means to an end for right now, and I'm gonna keep that. But that cost me $40. So my miscellaneous was $140, and I guess I actually gained $113 from not paying for my son's phone, so that went over there. Taekwondo is $325, and the kids are going to ninja camp. It's once a year, and they get to go and they play all day and do their exercises and everything. They spend the night. They get up the next morning. They drive out to the beach. They drive in vans. They drive out to the beach, and they do like a workout on the beach, and they're doing all their karate moves. And it's only one time a year, and that was $149. So I did make that adjustment for the kids to be able to do that. Last month we were on PureFlix, the 30-day trial period. So that has ran out, and we really do like PureFlix a little bit better than Netflix because I do have a little bit more parental control, and I like the content better. So that is $7.99, and I'm okay with paying that. I did not put any money in the eating out budget. However, my sister who lives here, her mom and her sister came up for my niece's birthday, and we all went out to eat on Sunday for lunch. So I put $40 for myself and my 2 kids, which is about what it ended up being, $33 plus the tip. my student loan, the only debt I carry is a student loan, and that's $52.29 for the month. So my total expenses were $28.88.15, but my paycheck was $27.27.62. So I'm off somewhere in here. I'm off, let me see, 28.15, 27.27.62. I should have did this ahead and I didn't. Okay, I'm off $160.53. Well, let me tell you what happened and how good God is. So remember, I didn't get the child support, and I was hoping it would come. I was hopeful that it would work out. It didn't. So I was sitting at my desk one day, I was working, and I got an email come through my email, and it says, you have received a deposit for $160.53. What kind of work did I do for $160.53? Well, I haven't done any work. Remember, I told y'all, and I've said this over and over, the Lord just blesses me. There's just things that happen at different times, and I can't explain how this deposit came and where that deposit came from. And sometimes I never know where it comes from. It's just in that banking account, and I haven't worked extra or nothing. I worked 2 Saturday schools for $125. That was on my paycheck. I saw that. But out of nowhere, so I was waiting for it to come. I didn't see anything. The $160 didn't show up for like 2 days, but I did get the email that said it was going in there. But it showed up after 2 days. That was one thing. Well, I did the summer internship in August. We got paid, it was an $800 internship. We got paid $500 in December, right around whenever Hurricane Matthew came in. The day before Matthew hit us, that check for $500 was in the mail. Then we got an email saying we were going to pay you in January, but we extended the deadline for people to get their stuff in. So no, we're going to pay you in February, but we were going to pay you in the middle of February, but no, we changed our mind. We're going to pay you at the end of February. So, okay, I'm just looking, nothing. Last Friday, which was the 24th, I think that's right, of February, I come home from work, I go to my mailbox, and I don't have, we are down to dry bones. It's dry bones at the banking account by then. Because without that extra coming in, and of course that was going out for childcare, now we are so squeezed and everything is just automatically accounted for. So I go to my mailbox, and there is a check for $300, which was the remainder of the internship that I did in August of last year. See, the Lord knew I would need that money in February of this year, which is why I didn't get it until now. I'm very determined in that. Nobody can change my mind. Nobody can tell me that that's not how God works, because that is how God works. So that was Friday. So I got an email on Wednesday. I got an email on Tuesday. I got a deposit on Thursday. I got a check on Friday. On Saturday, look at God and won't he do it? On Saturday, my son goes out to the mailbox. My little son goes to the mailbox. He brings me this mail. And I'd already been notified by my mortgage company that they were they had sold my mortgage to a different company, so I would have to pay differently my next mortgage payment because I would have a new company. And I was waiting for that paperwork to come. They said, you're going to get a welcome packet from this company, whatever. So I was expecting that. I open up the letter and I'm reading it. It just says, your mortgage is combined with your taxes and everything we put in an escrow account, and you had an overage for the month, for the year. And so we're sending you the surplus of your overage. And the surplus I paid over was $751 and some change. So let me show you again my numbers, right? So here's my income. $2,727.62. And I marked that additional not expected of $163. But if I go over here a little further, now I have $1,211.98. That was not expected in the month of February. It came at the end of February, but it was exceedingly and abundantly above what would have came in child support, and it helped us to get through to the next time. So somebody asked me about, and I can't remember, and I apologize, please forgive me for not remembering your name, about my emergency fund. They said, can you do a video on the emergency fund, because you've been trying to fund that emergency fund for a long time, and nothing, you keep having to take it out because life keeps happening. Well, life does keep happening to us. And, we had the car expense right at Christmas time, the week of Christmas, $500, week of Christmas. Then the money started getting a little shady around January, so you always know there's something there. And then February, so you're trying to live and have everything taken care of. Well, with the $300, I kept out $100 to get my son and my daughter some shoes. I tithed off of that $300, so $30. I kept out $70, so that was $100. $30 tithe, $70, and I put $200 in my savings account in the emergency fund. And then with the $751, I was able to tithe off of that $76. I tithe 10% off of every dime that comes in this house, every dime. And then I was able to take aside, I think it was the $40. It was the $40 for the router, and then the $40 to eat out with my sister and her mom, because otherwise I would not have had the money. And then I was able to put into the savings account again $535. So I was able to put into my emergency fund this month, if you can see that, $735. I say this every time, and I'm going to say it every time. God, He takes care of me. He takes care of me no matter what. If I'm faithful with God, He is always faithful with me. And again, remember, I said it's not always about the money, because it doesn't necessarily have to be money. God is faithful in all things, but He showed up with me where it matters the most in my life with my children, and that's finances. I needed to take, Ninja Camp was normally $199, and some wonderful person came in and they paid a little bit. And so I only ended up having to pay $149. That's just how it works out in those little pieces. And it's just so God. So anyway, I do have cash for this month. Yay! Because I'm going to the grocery store. So my cash categories are groceries, my puppy guy, and my oil change. So I'm going to stuff those envelopes for the month of March. And again, I just went to my handy dandy credit union and they gave me some extra envelopes, and I was thankful. So I'm just going to write on here groceries week 1, groceries week 2, groceries week 3, groceries week 4. And remember, I said there are 5 weeks in this month, so I broke it down. There are 5 Wednesdays. Groceries week 5. Okay. And then I have the puppy. And the last one I have is the oil for my car. So my grocery budget for the month, for the week, is $36.17. So I went and I got my denoms out. So I have my $20 bill, my $10 bill, my $5 bill, and my $1 bill for $36. And yes, I did get my 5 dimes and my 5 nickels and my pennies. And I have 1 dime, 1 dime, 1 nickel. Can you see that? There it is. And my 2 pennies for my 17 cents. I mean, it get real, y'all. So I'm just keeping it real. That's how I do it. And I don't have any shame about it because this works for my life. So here's my next week's, my $36. 120, 110, 15, 11, and my 17 cents. And my 20s, my 5, and my 1s. This is for week 3. My $36 and my 17 cents. And you know, some people say, well, why do you shop every week? Why don't you just do it once a month? I like the benefits of shopping once a week. I get more discounts that way. And so this is for week 4, my $36. I get more discounts that way. I can use my coupons better. And again, I coupon shop. So I have to shop by the week. And then my last week of groceries is, again, my $36 and my 17 cents. I mean, I'm so serious about my 17 cents. I ain't even playing. Okay. And for my puppy guy, I'm actually giving him an extra $10 this month because he comes over about 3 days a week and walks her for us. So I just threw in an extra $10. That was another 10 because I wanted him to be taken care of because he does take care of the puppy. And then the last money that I had for cash is $30 for my oil change. So I'm not real sure if that's going to be enough. I'll have to call and ask. And if it's not, then I'll either take it out of my grocery budget or I'll find it from somewhere else. I'll figure it out. I'll take it out of one of the weeks of groceries because I do have, you know, we do have groceries in the house. But we are starting to get a little low on some things. So here are all my envelopes for the month. I'm excited. I love having envelopes. And then what I will do, of course, you know, I will go ahead and take my grocery. I will take my grocery money. Let me grab my wallet. And I will go ahead and open up my wallet. And I will stuff in my grocery week 1 money behind my little tab that says groceries. And I will stick that in here. And that will be that. And now I'm ready for groceries for this week. And I'm ready for the rest of the month. So anyway, that is my monthly budget for March. So glad you decided to join us. If you have any questions, just leave us a comment down in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer it as best as I can. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And we do love the comments. I always try to go back and read everything and answer as much as I can if I can. But that's our favorite part. If you like this video and other videos that we've done before, please subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell thing so you never miss an upload from us. So we're excited about the month of March. We got envelopes, we got grocery money. We're doing good. So we hope you're doing well. We send many blessings from our home to your home. And until we budget again, bye.